Hey everyone, I'm Manoj Kumar, and today in this video, in this session, we'll be talking about the chapter Money and Banking, and we will be specifically talking about central bank and its functions. Central bank and its functions. Every country has one central bank. In our country, Reserve Bank of India is the central bank. It is a statutory body. It is a statutory body, meaning thereby it has come into existence through a special act passed by the parliament, and it derives its authority from the government. It acts as an agent of the government in all the monetary matters. The monetary policy and all that is taken care of by the Reserve Bank of India, which is the central bank in our country. Right? So, like our country, every other country has its central bank. In America, that is known as Federal Reserve Bank. In other countries, all of them have their separate central bank, and this central bank is autonomous in money matters. There are two policies, monetary policy and fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is the preserve of the government, which the government brings into play through its budget, and the monetary policy, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, is the custodian of monetary policy. Right? Today we will be talking about the functions of central bank, Reserve Bank of India in the case of our country. So, its first function is currency authority. Currency authority, and it is sole currency authority. Only Reserve Bank has the legal mandate. Only Reserve Bank has the legal mandate to issue currency notes, to print notes. Anyone other than RBI who is doing this is illegal. He or she will be caught and sent to jail. So, it is the only legal authority to print notes, right? That is what is meant by sole currency authority. Clear? Then it is banker, agent and advisor to the government. It is banker of the government, like commercial bank is our banker. It is an agent of the central government in monetary matters. If you look at a currency, you will find guaranteed by the central government written at the top of the currency, the paper money that you have in your pocket, right? Which the governor of Reserve Bank promises to pay to the bearer. So, it is an agent of the government. The monetary policy, the rate of interest, the money supply, all these things which relate to monetary policy is done by the central bank on behalf of the government. It works as an agent of the government, and it is also advisor to the government in monetary matters, not in fiscal matters, but in monetary matters, right? Then third one is, it is bankers bank and supervisory role. Bankers bank and supervisory role, like we citizens who park our savings with the commercial banks. Similarly, commercial banks park their deposits with RBI. RBI acts as the banker of the commercial banks, and it also has supervisory role, superintendence over the banking sector. It regulates banking sector and oversees that they work as per the Indian Banking Regulation Act. Right? The Reserve Bank issues license to them. It can also cancel their license. It imposes fine on them when they don't work as per the regulatory framework. Right? Then the fourth one is, it is lender of the last resort. Lender of the last resort. When commercial banks or state governments or central governments, they don't have any other avenue for raising fund, then they go to the central bank. It is the lender of last resort. Like Supreme Court is the last resort for those who are seeking justice. Right? So it is lender of the last resort, be it commercial banks or state government or central government. All of them go to RBI for borrowing when they can't find it from anywhere else. Right? Then it is the custodian of foreign exchange. Then it is the custodian of foreign exchange. All the currencies other than the domestic currency, RBI is the custodian of that. RBI is the custodian of that. No individual, no commercial bank can accept deposit in terms of foreign exchange. Only RBI is the custodian of the foreign exchange, and RBI authorizes one particular branch or unit of a commercial bank to deal in foreign exchange. Only that authorized branch of a commercial bank can deal in foreign exchange. No other branch can deal in foreign exchange. If you go to a commercial bank to deposit your foreign exchange or to buy foreign exchange, that is not possible. You have to go to a authorized branch of a particular commercial bank, which is done by the RBI. Right? Then next is clearing house function. Next is clearing house function. What is this? There are many interbank transactions. Like someone has to pay me 10,000 rupees. He has his account in State Bank of India. He writes a check of State Bank of India. I have my account in Axis Bank or ICICI Bank. So I will deposit that check of SBI in my Axis Bank. Now, Axis Bank is not aware of the genuineness of the check, whether I have deposits in my account or not. So, all such interbank transactions, all such checks or drafts go to a clearing house, which RBI designates a particular branch which acts as a clearing house function, and there they have the representatives and details of all other banks. Now the check that I deposited in Axis Bank, that will go to clearing house, and then after being cleared from there, my account will get credited. Even if my account shows that 10,000 has been credited as soon as I deposit the check, but it is not clear. It is not clear. I can withdraw that 10,000 rupees only when it gets cleared by the clearing house. Right? So this is another important function of the central bank, Reserve Bank of India. Right? And then the most important one is credit control or control of money supply. Credit control or the control of money supply. You know, the availability of credit and the demand of credit, there is always a mismatch. Demand for credit is always higher. Then there is liquidity, the money supply, how much money is there in the market. So we have seen in equilibrium level of national income that aggregate demand must be equal to aggregate supply. If aggregate demand is more, it means people are having more money than there are goods and services in the market. So in that case, what RBI does, it uses one of the instruments, tools available to it to suck that additional amount of money from the market so that aggregate demand becomes equal to aggregate supply. The availability of credit is also made possible through this. If the liquidity is tight, then Reserve Bank has many different tools through which it pumps liquidity in the market, as has been done recently after the lockdown when the government came up with different measures to stimulate the economy. Right? So this is the most important function of Reserve Bank of India, to control credit, to control the money supply so that aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. The money supply in the market must not be greater or less than the availability of goods and services in the market. Excess demand, that is inflation and deflation, is taken care of by this tool or instrument only with RBI, about which we will discuss in greater detail in our next video. So far we have done barter system of exchange, the various drawbacks of that system. Then we talked about evolution of money. We talked about definition of money, various definitions of money. Here we talked about the central bank and its functions. In our next video, we will be talking about the credit control or control of money supply function of the Reserve Bank of India in greater detail. Thank you.